Welcome to The Orbit. I'm Valtuem, and I talk all things sci-fi and fantasy. Spoiler warning for Mickey 17. What are the Mickeys? The movie plays with a lot of interesting ideas about the philosophy and ethics of human copying. What does it mean to be human? If you copy someone's body and memories, are they really the same person?
And if I have sex with my clone, is that gay or is it masturbation?
A quick summary.
Once you die, we'll print a new version of your body.
They made me work my ass off on one mission after another.
Why aren't you dead?
Multiples.
In the case of multiples, we exterminate every individual.
As an expendable, Mickey is considered, well, expendable. For him, death isn't permanent, so people feel justified treating him inhumanely. They experiment on him, leave him for dead, and outright kill him with hardly a second thought.
You're an expendable! You're here to be expended!
They treat him like a tool that can be broken and replaced. This is complicated in the case of multiples. They're considered abominations. It's said that if there's one soul per person, multiple copies of someone must, therefore, be soulless. They aren't people, so they can be exterminated. So here's the question. Is Mickey still human? Is he still a person? Well, the movie goes out of its way to humanize Mickey and his experiences. It focuses on the pain and trauma inflicted on him.
It's terrible. Dying. I hate it. No matter how many times I go through it. It's scary.
The movie certainly wants us to empathize with him like he's a person. At the end of the movie, Nasha, his girlfriend, inexplicably becomes a politician and makes human printing and the use of expendables illegal. It's kind of a bullshit way to wrap up something that didn't have a proper resolution. While a few characters do treat Mickey like he's human, the overwhelming majority don't. No work is done to convince these people that Mickey's treatment is immoral. There's just a time jump and now that's the status quo. And when it comes to multiples, the movie has nothing compelling to say. It doesn't argue one way or the other whether the existence of multiples makes Mickey any less human. And conveniently, Mickey 18 sacrifices himself while 17 lives on, so that complicated reality doesn't need to be addressed. I guess the audience is always meant to believe Mickey is a person. They're supposed to assume that people like Marshall and the scientists are just wrong without considering if they have a point or not. If that is the case, why pose the question in the first place? So Mickey is human. But is Mickey Mickey? That depends. Each body is made new, so he's physically a different Mickey each time. His memories and personality are downloaded into this new body, so in a sense, his mind is just a copy, not the original. Philosophically, it's really up to the individual whether this makes each Mickey a new person or not. But what does the movie have to say about this? Well, when Mickey 17 and 18 meet for the first time, 17 comes to a realization.
Till now, I died and I was just born again. It felt like it was me continuing on. But now, once I die, it'll be over for me. It'll be you living on.
This brings into question whether 17 and 18 can be considered the same person.
Because I'm you. No, I'm me. I'm me, he says.
What adds to this are their distinctly different personalities. If not for looking identical, you'd never think they were meant to be the same guy. But the movie fails to go the whole hog with this idea. If Mickey 18 is not the same person as Mickey 17, doesn't that mean neither are the same as Mickey 1? Doesn't that mean Mickey, the real Mickey, died years ago? If that's the case, can we really call these two Mickey at all? This never occurs to him, or any of the other characters, so it goes unexplored. In fact, contrary to the points I've highlighted, certain characters do consider them to be the same guy. When Kai wants to slurp the glorp of Mickey 17, Nasha insists that both are Mickey, therefore the slurping rights of both belong to her. She doesn't really make an argument for why they're both Mickey, and this belief goes unchallenged. And as I mentioned before, 18 dies, so 17 can live on as the only Mickey without having to deal with any hard questions. I think the movie wants the audience to come to specific conclusions regarding who and what Mickey is. But to do so, it sidesteps all the complex questions it raises over the course of the story. It's kinda disappointing. I mentioned before that the Mickeys have different personalities. Why is that? Each possesses, more or less, the same memories as the previous, so why are there such distinct differences? There's a moment early on when a Mickey is getting his memories uploaded and a cord is briefly unplugged. This might just be an example of how careless people are with his well-being. Or it might hint that there's some technological flaw that causes Mickeys to come out differently. But there's more to it. At one point, 17 expresses guilt over his mom's death, but 18 stresses it wasn't his fault. He says he keeps telling him that, even though this is the first time they've had this conversation. What does this mean? From a narrative perspective, I believe the different Mickeys, namely 17 and 18, are different aspects of his psyche. While 17 is meek and a pushover, 18 is confident, reckless, and vindictive. 18 represents an unconscious aspect of Mickey's personality, the rage and resentment he's buried below the surface. He takes revenge against the people who've abused him.
Fuck him! Fuck him up against the wall! With handcuffs on and crazy through all the lips!
And he refuses to be burdened by undue guilt, which is why he tells 17 that Mom's death wasn't his fault.
I'm not you. I'm not gonna live like you.
The major conflict of the movie is resolved when 18 sacrifices himself to kill the big bad, which is something 17 is unwilling to do. This incites an interesting change in him. At the end of the movie, 17 has a nightmare. He wonders what 18 would do in this situation. After considering, he tells the dream to fuck off, and it works. It brings him peace. 18's death encourages 17 to bring those aspects of his psyche to the surface, to make him a more complete person. It's a kind of self-actualization, only possible because part of himself was manifested in physical form. This is probably the most well-developed aspect of the movie. Unlike Mickey's humanness and Mickeyness, the movie doesn't just tell you what the right answer is without working for it. This idea has a complete through line. Mickey 17 has some interesting ideas, but for the most part, it doesn't follow through with them, which is a shame. I think it's a missed opportunity. Thanks for watching. What do you think of how Mickey 17 handles these ideas? Did I miss anything? Please like and subscribe for more videos in the same vein. I'll see you on the orbit.